Welcome to Vince Flynn Day here in Minnesota. I'm State Representative Jim Nash. I represent Western Carver County. I live in Waconia, and for the last number of years, I have been a Vince Flynn ambassador. And long before that, I was a Vince Flynn addict. So I have been an avid reader and just loved the books. When I became the ambassador, I began getting reached out to say, hey, you have a title and we'd like to have you help us make this a day. So I want to thank the governor and the lieutenant governor for helping get this done. We have the official proclamation here declaring today Vince Flynn Day, and behind me I'm joined by the family and Vince's wife. I would like to make sure that everyone understands that this is a really big deal for the family. Minnesota native son, done well, great proof that you can have an idea, start, and through hard work succeed. And for me, as a testament to their choices, once you become a famous writer, you could probably live anywhere. And certainly Minnesota is not exactly conducive to the luxurious lifestyle. So I just appreciate that Vince and his family stayed here in Minnesota and invested in their community, invested in their state. So with that, I would invite you to come and say a few words.
Hold on. Okay. This is not my wheelhouse, but we know Vince was very comfortable speaking, and I'm going to do this for him. So I want to thank Governor Walz for signing this bill that declares today, April 6th, Vince Flynn Day in Minnesota. And thank you, Representative Nash, for initiating contact with Vince's longtime publicist and friend, David Brown. Thank you, David, for making the trip from New York to celebrate this day. Vince loved working with you. In fact, one of his favorite David stories took place on a book tour in Seattle. The two of them checked into the hotel, grabbed their keys, and agreed to meet at the hotel restaurant for dinner. At dinner, David asked Vince, how's your room? Vince said, it's okay, I guess, nothing special. David said, well, my room is fantastic. It's got a living room, a dining room, a kitchen. It's huge. Vince listened to every detail as David went on and on about this. Finally, he said, they gave you my room. They think you're Dan Brown, the author, and I'm your big dumb bodyguard. Of course, David felt terrible and insisted they switch. Vince said he was happy staying right where he was, and besides, I think he wanted to hold it over his head. But it worked out perfectly, David. You work extremely hard, and Vince always loved you. I also want to thank my kids and the Flynn family and all our friends today for being here. Today is very special, and it honors a guy we know loved the spotlight. Yet he handled it with such ease and humility. Today, Vince would have been 56 years old. In the Flynn family, this day was kind of a holiday already. It was he shared this birthday with two other family members. One of them with his sister Sheila and his niece Olivia. So happy birthday to these ladies today. As children, Vince was well aware that Sheila didn't love having to share her day with the baby brother that showed up exactly 3 years later. Sheila's not here, but I wanted to say I imagine her brother knowing every year when she looks at the calendar on April 6th and it says Vince Flynn Day. He's got to be laughing right now. But he only teased the people he loved most. It goes without saying, Vince was extremely proud to be from Minnesota, which is just another reason why he would have been thrilled and honored today. He truly loved living here. As his success grew, like Representative Nash said, his friends from different parts of the country would ask him, almost expecting, are you making a move? To which he always replied, without hesitation, I'll always have one publisher, one agent, one wife, and one home. All of his siblings still live here, as well as his closest friends. This is where his heart was, and this is where his heart will always be. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Congressman and David, thank you very much for making this happen. We all miss Vince. I think what we miss most about Vince is the friendships that he formed and the conversations that he had and his ability to get out of people in those conversations an unbelievable amount of knowledge. In fact, he relayed a story to me from President Bush when he was in his limousine. I just stop right there and think of that actually happening. And President Bush asking him, Defense Secretary Rumsfeld wants to know where you're getting all your information, Vince. And it went all the way up to the Oval Office. It went across countries. People wondered how he got his information. He got his information because, as you all know, being a friend of his, he was able to have a conversation with anyone and everyone and forge those wonderful relationships that live on to this day. Dan Barrero and the Rookie representing two of his favorite radio shows. We appreciate everything you've done for Vince. Frank and CCO, I think that was Vince's first television interview when Frank was at NBC, I believe. Those friendships still last, and we miss him every day for those conversations that he forms. I'll leave you with this. My wife and I graduated from UST in May of 1992, and Vince showed up at the pre-party and brought a bottle of whiskey for myself, a bottle of whiskey for my roommate, and Vince is in this seersucker suit. I don't know where the heck this thing ended up, but he's doing his Vince deal. And he's to the point where he's obnoxious. Finally, I yell at him. I said, Vince, this is my day, not yours. This is my day. So on today, Vince is up there laughing that now we have Vince Flynn Day in Minnesota. So I appreciate everything you guys did. The family is, thank you for all your support.
Questions?
Was this hard to get a Democratic governor to save this day?
Thanks, Mary. Actually, no. So you may not know this, but the lieutenant governor and I are actually pretty good friends. We agree on like three things. One of them might be the color of the sky, but Lieutenant Governor Flanagan and I are very good friends. So I reached out to her. I said, "Hey, this is an important thing. Native son of Minnesota, did really well. Was intentional in staying in the state of Minnesota, so it would be great if we could just get this done." We started the issue last year, and then COVID obviously blew everything up, but reached out to her, and she said, "Jim, I will get this done," and I wanted to thank her, the governor. It's a great thing, so yeah, here you go.
Who turned you onto the books? How did you do it?
So I've been a thriller junkie since I was a little kid. So part of my upbringing was I was an exchange student at the University of Berlin. So the whole espionage idea was fantastic for me. So I've read everything from Le Carré to Ludlum. And when Vince's books came out, I was like, oh, a new form of a drug. So let's start consuming that. And from then on, I was just hooked. Well, good afternoon. And once again, welcome to Vince Flynn Day. We are here outside the chamber of the House of Representatives where I serve and wanted to read the official proclamation. We're joined by the Flynn family and many friends to celebrate this day. And once again, I want to make sure that we send thanks to the Lieutenant Governor who helped me get this done and the Governor for signing this. It is a really great day to celebrate Vince Flynn here in the state of Minnesota. And I will read the proclamation and then we'll be available for questions and you all can come up and get pictures. So, an official proclamation of the state of Minnesota, whereas Vince Flynn was a Minnesota novelist, writer, and television consultant, and whereas Flynn was born in 1966 and grew up in St. Paul, Minnesota as the fifth of 7 siblings, and whereas Flynn graduated from the University of St. Thomas with a BA in economics in 1988, and whereas Flynn went on to write novels, the first of which, Term Limits, was self-published, and whereas Flynn's novel American Assassin went on to become a major motion picture in 2017, and whereas Flynn died on June 19th, 2013 at age 47 years old due to a form of aggressive prostate cancer, and whereas the state of Minnesota recognizes Flynn for his writing and Minnesota heritage. Now, therefore, Tim Walz, Governor of Minnesota, does hereby proclaim Wednesday, April 6, 2022, as Vince Flynn Day in the state of Minnesota. So there is the proclamation. We are joined by his wife, who will come up here and hold this, and family and kids, if you guys would like to come up as well. Yep, there you go. So for those that weren't at the press conference, if you have a couple of questions, we can tackle those now. I also have for us an emissary from Senator Klobuchar's office who would like to read a letter on her behalf. So Ruby, if you'd like to come up and join us.
Thank you. My name is Ruby DeBellis. I'm an outreach director for Senator Klobuchar, and she wrote this letter in recognition of Vince Flynn Day. Dear friends and family of Vince, thank you for the invitation to join you in celebrating Vince Flynn Day in Minnesota. I want to take this opportunity to recognize Vince's family and all of his friends who are present as we honor his life, legacy, and accomplishments. As many of them know, I have read every one of Vince's books, and yes, I was one of those Mitch Rapp fans who would pre-order or show up to the bookstore on day one of a new book release. Throughout his illustrious career, Vince's writing captivated millions, and the story he told were adventurous and full of life. His talents as a writer and storyteller inspired countless people across the globe, including kings and presidents. Even though Vince was a best-selling author who received many accolades for his work, he never lost sight of his Minnesota roots, and he was a staple in the community as a coach, a member of various boards, and philanthropist. But we all know Vince's most important role in life was as a father and husband. His family inspired his creativity and gave him the drive he needed in his life and work. His life is an example of determination, tenacity, and never giving up on your dreams, which he modeled not only for his family and friends, but for us all. He will always be remembered for his perseverance, integrity, wit, his very big heart, and his love for family and friends. Thank you again for the invitation to join you for today's celebration. I'm honored to be a part of this special day for Vince's family and friends, and I am proud to represent you today in the United States Senate. Sincerely, Amy Klobuchar, United States Senator. Thank you.